receives Works Minister Umahi seeks collaboration. FG gives 48-hour ultimatum to contractor handling Umunya Amansi axis of Enugu on Nature Express route. COAS conference to hold in Abuja September 11 to 15. World leaders adopt joint declaration of G20 summit. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. A beautiful good evening to you and glad to have you join us on the news tonight. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo has advised the federal government and the Works Ministry to rethink and bring in new models of delivering federal routes across the country. Governor Soludo gave the advice when he received the Minister for Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, on a courtesy call at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia. Government House correspondent Ejikabana tells us more.
To the governor, all federal routes in the state have failed, suggesting a mixture of financing options or infrastructure tax credit scheme, saying that awarding roads from Abuja across the country cannot guarantee delivery as the current system cannot work to deliver for the country. While appreciating President Ahmed Tinubu for appointing Engineer Umahi into the office, Governor Soludo said that in politics, you do not always get what you deserve, but what you bargained for, pointing out that the second Niger bridge without repairing the Onisha-Owerri road may not help the region. He requested for the possibility of taking a trip with the minister round the bad roads in the state, noting that the Anambra West Kogi road that can lead to Abuja in 3 hours when constructed can be a game changer in the country. Engineer Umahi expressed disappointment at the contractor handling the Enugu-Onitsha Express Road, passed a vote of no confidence on the consultants, and said that the contractors have been summoned to fashion out ways to move forward. He suggested the use of concrete pavements for roads to last, assuring that they will think outside the box to redesign and do some roads in the state, commending Governor Soludo for remaining dogged and committed to development efforts. The Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajuri, Commissioner for Works, Engineer Ifeanyi Okoma, among others, joined the governor to receive the minister and his entourage. From the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
The federal government has called for the redesigning of the over 30 kilometers Otocha-Nzam Ibaji-Kogi route awarded in 2008. The Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, stated this when he inspected work already done since then and the ones remaining. Works correspondent Ngozi Bileri was part of the visit and now reports.
The minister expressed sadness over the condition of the road, which he said has gone bad. Engineer Umahi noted that the old method of laying stone base, MC1 and then asphalt, no longer stand the test of time due to the type of weather and lack of maintenance culture of the people of the country. He recommended concrete pavement with 2 meters asphalt on top as the best way to ensure that the roads last more than 50 years after construction. The minister said, henceforth, there will no longer be surface dressing on shoulders of federal roads across the country so as to get it right. The over 30 kilometers Otuocha-Nzam Ibaji Kogi Road, awarded to Niger Cat Construction Company, has 5 bridges and will be a major shortcut to Lokoja when completed. Meanwhile, the federal government has given a 48 ultimatum to the contractor handling the Amansi and Umunya axis of Enugu-Onitsha Express Road to make all the deplorable portions of the road motorable or have the contract revoked. The Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, gave the direction at Amobe axis of the road while inspecting ongoing construction work on the road. According to Engineer Umahi, the contractor has wasted a lot of time on the road without tangible result, as he warned that if the road is not motorable within 48 hours, he will sack the contractor and have the contract revoked. He said he can no longer condone a situation where Ndibo are subjected to hardship and pains due to the deplorable state of the road, saying it will no longer be business as usual. He added that every contractor given contract on federal roads must prove their mettle if the government's objectives will be achieved. The Comptroller, Federal Ministry of Works, Engineer Chukwudi Okpokpara, Anambra State Commissioner for Works, Engineer Ifeanyi Okoma, Chief of Staff to Governor Chukwuma Soludo, Sir Ernest Ezajuri, Permanent Secretary, Anambra State Ministry of Works, Mrs. Stephanie Kelly Uzo, and other directors in the ministry were part of the visit.
Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, Anambra State Council, has welcomed the new council members of the NIPR, Professor Kate Omenoga, during a special ceremony. The event was attended by prominent figures in the field of public relations, including the Commissioner for Information, Sir Paul Musu, the Accountant General of Anambra State, Dr. Chukwudi Okoli, the Managing Director, Anambra Broadcasting Service, Chido Obidogu, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Youth Empowerment, Dr. Nelson Omenoga, with friends and colleagues of Professor Omenoga, offering heartfelt goodwill messages. Onyinye Agbeze has more.
Professor Angela Wammo, the chairman of the NIPR Anambra State Council, expressed her delight in having Professor Omenoga join the council. She commended her outstanding contributions to the field of public relations and emphasized the significance of her role within the state.
I wish to appreciate each and every one of us gathered here this afternoon for coming here to stay with us, rejoice with us, and to welcome our brand new council member officially to this chapter.
Professor Omenoga, in her response, expressed her gratitude for the warm reception and spoke passionately about her commitment to upholding the highest standards of professionalism in public relations. She acknowledged the challenges facing the industry and outlined her vision to work hand in hand with the government and collaboratively highlight the transformational impact of Governor Chukwuma Soludo's leadership in order to inspire others.
And of course, NIPR represents that charting of a course, of a new dawn, where we must have to have this kind of synergy with the government in every sense of the word.
For the immediate past council member NIPR, Reverend Father Professor Boniface Obiefuna and Chief Uche Udedibia, they praised Professor Omenoga's dedication to the field as they expressed optimism about her future contributions to the council, emphasizing the importance of unity and collaboration within the NIPR community to advance the profession and promote ethical practices in public relations.
Very beautiful reputation in Anambra State. I am personally very, very happy that somebody in the person of Professor Kate Omenoga is succeeding me in council. I'm very, very happy about it. Very happy about it.
Also, the Managing Director, Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Sir Obidogu, congratulated her, noting that her passion for excellence and commitment to ethical practices while serving as the former Commissioner for Education has been an inspiration to many, as he pointed that she will make significant contributions to the NIPR. In Oka, I am Onyinye Agbeze reporting for ABS News.
Men of Anambra State Police Command have rescued a kidnapped victim, one Abuchi's surname withheld, from Urumba South local government area of the state. Police operatives, while on anti-crime patrol in Obosi yesterday, were stopped by residents and informed about a kidnap incident. The public-spirited citizens pointed the police in the direction the kidnappers went after seizing their victim. Police then trailed the kidnappers to an uncompleted building surrounded by bush in Umota village, Obosi, where a gunfire exchange with the kidnappers ensued. One of the hoodlums was shot and arrested while others escaped, some with bullet wounds. One double-barrel pistol, 2 live and 1 expended cartridge were recovered from the gang. Arrested suspect gave his name as Nwasu Ikenna from Obosi, and he identified those that escaped as Ebuka aka Big, Chinedu Emmanuel, and Chukwu Ojoto. The hoodlum who identified Ebuka as the leader of the gang gave up the ghost on the way to the hospital for treatment. The Commissioner of Police, CP Aderemi Adeoye, who commended the team for its gallantry, declared the suspect at large wanted and will be hunted down. He assured the people of Obosi and Anambra State citizens and residents that the police command will not relent in its onslaught against crime until it is brought to the barest minimum. Moving ahead, Governor Chukwuma Soludo. All right, let's continue with the rest of the news. Arrangements have been concluded to hold the Chief of Army Staff COAS Combined Second and Third Quarters Conference 2023 at the Army Headquarters Command Officers Mess at Sokoro, Abuja, from Monday 11 to Friday 15 September 2023. In a statement made available to journalists, the Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Wachuku, said the conference will allow participants evaluate the conduct of ongoing Nigerian Army NA operations, training, and other activities in the pursuit of its constitutional mandate. This statement also notes that the conference would enable the Nigerian Army make projections for the fourth quarter, comprehensively review ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations in the Northeast and Northwest, as well as other NA operational engagements across the country. It further assured that participants will have the privilege of gaining insight into the command philosophy of the COAS, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, and his agenda for the NA. According to the statement, the participants would be sensitized on the critical drivers of the COA's command philosophy for effective implementation, as the conference will feature presentations of briefs on trainings, operations, administration, logistics, among other Nigerian Army activities, as captured in its 2023 forecast of events. Participants expected at the conference include principal staff officers of the Army Headquarters, Corps, Formations Operations, commandants of NA schools, and tri-service institutions, as well as select NA officers holding key appointments and a host of others. World leaders have formally adopted a joint declaration at the G20 summit held in India. Ukraine has expressed its disappointment at the declaration, which does not name Russia or directly criticize it for the war. But Russia said the summit was a milestone and praised India's role in building consensus on the joint statement. The summit was marked by the absence of Russia's Vladimir Putin and China's Xi Jinping. The two-day event saw big moments, including the African Union being made a permanent member of the G20. India has formally handed over the G20 presidency to Brazil, which will take over in December. And now sports. Super Eagles' last qualifying game for the Côte d'Ivoire 2024 African Cup of Nations against Sao Tome and Principe in Uyo today is part of the preparatory matches for the national team ahead of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, which begin later this year. The Nigeria Football Federation has said Nigeria, which defeated Sao Tome and Principe 10-0 in the first leg of the tie, opted to play the inconsequential leg with a full component of their stars instead of employing home-based players for the game, raising questions on the wisdom of such move in spite of NFF's dire financial situation. But the NFF has defended the decision, saying today's match would be used to test some of the newly invited players to the national team, as well as help coach Josep Peseiro and his crew to correct some of the team's deficiencies ahead of the World Cup qualifiers, which begin in November. Apart from the game in Uyo, the qualifier presents the NFF opportunity to hold its yearly general meeting today. And do remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page, follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service, subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Oka, Twitter at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now a recap of the main points before we go. Anambra State Governor Soludo has received Works Minister Umahi 6 new approach to federal road projects. FG has given 48-hour ultimatum to contractor handling Omonia Amansi axis of Enugu-Onitsha Express route. COAS conference is to hold in Abuja September 11 to 15. And from the foreign scene, world leaders have adopted joint declaration of G20 summit. And to end the news, the special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that does it on the news for tonight. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Maureen Stone Enujeke Kachifo.